What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $1,347 in the first hour of trading. Let's get into the trades real quick. I want to apologize. My mic was not working for the live trading section part of things, so you'll just see the trades. So I apologize for that, but let's get into it. So my first trade was on LEDS, and let's go over it real quick of why I like this trade and why I took it. I actually entered pre-market on this trade. But we'll get into why in just a second. So a lot of times when a stock rips, on its first day of going nutso, which would be yesterday, the stock went from a low of 338 to a high of $5 all in one day. Big move, right? A lot of times the second day people will call a continuation play, and I like to play these continuation plays looking for that secondary pop when the first pop, which on the first day, doesn't sell off 100%, meaning it closed in the top half of the move. It didn't close, down here, didn't get pop and then drop 100% or 80%. It stayed in the top half. It closed at 430 with a high of $5. So when that happens, the second day is in play for me. So that's one reason why I took this trade. The second reason why I took this trade and where I took it is because of the pre-market movement, which was light volume, but it got itself to the $0.50. This is pre-market right here. This is the 928 candle. This is the 929 candle. So at 928, this is what we were looking at, right? And it's super, super light volume. But you can kind of see, you can kind of do an opening range with this. This is only like 3,000 shares total, so it's not a strong opening range at all. But it wasn't kind of selling off either. The market was looking ugly at this time. It wasn't selling off. There was a lot of people watching it. I subscribed to chat rooms and they were all watching it. So it was definitely on watch. And there's no other gappers out there that were enticing anybody. So this one was, it had the spotlight on it. So my thought process is, if 450 broke, this thing could move to $5. And why I got $5 on this is kind of on the daily chart here. This is 3 months. You can see every day for the last 3 months. You can kind of see this $5 area is pretty hard resistance. You can kind of see, tapped it here, rejected, tapped it here, almost rejected, tapped it here, rejected. Yesterday, tapped it on the nose, rejected. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, entry for 450, it probably pops to 5 and sell into that strength. I'm not trying to hold and hope this thing gets all the way up to, this level up here, but there's just, there's a lot of resistance. Even if it broke 5, there's still a lot of resistance above that. You got 530, then you got probably 550, and then this level. So it would slow down anyway. So as a trader, I want to sell into resistance unless there's some reason that it's just going to blow through it. And it hasn't proved to me recently that it's going to break any of these major levels here, especially $5 anytime soon, and run. So I have to go back 6 months to find one that, even here, it kind of tapped through it, sold off. This is the first time back in January, or the last time I should say, that broke $5. But even then, it hits 550, pulls back. This here hits 560, pulls back. So, another major level right there. So I'm looking at that saying, okay, here's my strategy. Get in for the break of 450 as long as it just doesn't sell off, or look like it's going to sell off. Get in, it probably pops pretty quickly to $5, and get out selling into that strength. And that's exactly what I did. I actually bought pre-market because I was listening to all the chat rooms and they were all looking for this 450 break. So I'm like, you know what? There's not a lot of shares at 450. I'm going to buy. So I bought pre-market, got in at 450, and as soon as the market opened, boom, exactly what I thought would happen happened. Volume came in, this thing jumped all the way to 516, and I hit the sell button as we were approaching that level. I just did a market order. It was just kind of crazy up here. Didn't pop here long. You'll see that. I'll roll the live video of the trade in just a second. Popped up. I'm just selling. I'm just hitting a market order. I'm not trying to, be cute about it. I'm just selling into that strength and taking my, what is this, 43-cent win for the first trade of the day in about oh, what is that? 18 seconds of trading. I mean, all day long, I'll take $800 in 18 seconds. So it's a good trade, good way to start the day, and it worked out perfectly. Again, an entry was for this 450 break because a lot of traders, they'll jump in that thinking that shorts are going to put their stop loss right there. It's going to get a pop over 450. And in this case, it's a stock I'm familiar with. It's in my trader Rolodex. I know how this thing trades, and it doesn't take much volume to pop at 50 cents. And you kind of see that here, right? 270,000 shares of volume. It's a 3 million share float. It didn't take much to pop at 50 cents, 60 cents really in this case, and it was just a nice win, good strategy, and I stuck to it.
An opportunity right out of the gates. Maybe there'll be something that is a surprise move.
30 seconds.
Okay, so I'll have my orders ready right now on
word of the day.
LEDS at the $0.50 and on UAVS around 410. Watching LEDS a little bit more closely. So watching LEDS here. I'm long LEDS for a scalp. See if we get a break over $5.
31.70. What do we say? Maybe that move back to.
So we got a high on LEDS of.
So my next trade was NETE. This one actually was a swing that I took overnight. Bitcoin was ripping yesterday, and it gapped up to 990, and then this morning Bitcoin kind of took a dump. It went from basically 9,900 to 9,200, something like that. So this play was based off of Bitcoin. I was green on the trade, just happy to be green, so I got out because Bitcoin was down, and I took my profits. All right, so UAVS is my next trade. This is a perfect reason why I don't like to trade the first minute of the market, just because it's just the Wild West. So you can kind of see here, here's the 933 candle. You know, it was on the gap scan list. You could have played a red to green move on this. A red to green move means on these the stocks that are gapping up, it drops and then it starts to curl back up, and you could enter in on the first candle over candle after the red to green move. So the best entry on this thing would have been right here inside this candle right there. You break in the high of the previous candle after the pullback out of the open. That would have been the best entry, and I completely missed it because I was playing LEDS at the time. Wasn't paying attention to this thing at all. So anyway, it popped up. That's why I became aware of it, and I'm not going to chase it. You know, I missed this play. I'm not going to chase it. So 934 candle, boom, gives it all back. It's a bearish sign, and that sign of weakness. That means I really don't want to play this thing for a big move. I can play it for a small scalp, and that's what I ended up doing. But as far as thinking this thing's going to do one of these moves, probably not, especially after a candle like this. Got a nice pop. This is like a 26-cent move, and then on the very next candle, it gave it all back. Now, if this candle kind of pulled back into this area and didn't drop all the way down here, sure, then, you know, then we maybe have something, but it didn't. It's a low float stock, only 500,000 shares in the float, so it can make big moves, but today was just not the day. So anyway, what I liked about this one is, even though it sold off, you know, big time right here, the very next candle, it did give us a setup. You know, this is kind of a candle over candle setup right here. So because this setup right here was so ugly, when I do candle over candle, I'm only looking for a scalp. I'm just using this as an entry to make 2, 3, 4, 5 cents, something like that. So here's the pop. This would have been a pullback candle if it didn't freaking, you know, pull back 100%. So it's a strong pullback candle, if that makes sense. It's weak for longs. It's strong indication for bears. Anyway, so when it did that, and then this candle set up, I'm just looking for a quick scalp. So we got a pop. We can call this the pullback, but it's, again, it's a strong pullback, meaning it's weak for longs, right? If you're a long bias trader, it's a weak setup. But again, I can play this for a candle over candle. That's what I did. I entered right here as soon as we broke the high of the previous candle. Quick pop. That's all we got. Is, you know, what is this? 426. That's 10 cents. I got, let's see, I got in at 419. Right in here. So I got in a little early, and I exited 5 cents. So a nice 5 cent, 6 cent win for me. And again, this setup right here, this candle told me that this move was going to be weak, and it played out perfectly. You can kind of see right there. If this candle had only pulled back maybe, you know, 10, 15 cents instead of 100% of this move, basically, or 80, 90% of this move, then the first 1 minute candle over candle might have gotten us towards a high day, then 450 break, and then, you know, hitting people's scanners. But because it popped and then dropped, you know, 89% of the move, that's very weak. That's a very weak thing, and you can kind of see it just kind of sold off from there. It's just been all over the place. So this setup was weak. It still gives me an entry for a candle over candle, you know, 5-10 cent play there, which I took because there's nothing else going on, and it worked out.
Candle to make a new high.
Grind it out.
So watch for the break over 425 for an ad. Just added at 422 for the break over 425.
So DAR is my next trade, and this one it's the exact same setup as what we just did, a pop, pullback, candle over candle in the 1 minute. And this one is more what I'm looking for in these plays, right? We had a decent pop, the pullback stays above the VWAP, it doesn't sell off 100% of the move, you know, it stays in the upper half of the pop candle, so to speak. And then we get a nice, you know, consolidation candle. So this is still the pullback. This pullback is above this line right here is the VWAP. It stays above the VWAP, and then we get candle over candle, right? This is, so I'm looking for that first candle over candle, and my entry point was we were inside this candle right here. I took this entry, and this is kind of what I'm looking for in these stocks, right? To be fair, the best play on this again was here. So we had the pop, the first pop. This is a pullback candle because it doesn't make a new high, so it's a pullback candle. And then this would have been our candle over candle, right? This is the first time, and we got a nice rip out of it. I wasn't watching this at the time. I was watching LEDS. I was playing, I think, LEDS at the time. So I just missed this move. So this was the first entry, and usually the more times you do this play, the weaker it gets. And when I played this, I remember I didn't see this. I just did not see that. We've already done this play once. So the second time, I didn't think we were inside the second time. I thought we were inside the first time. But anyway, you can kind of see that this is the first move here, and now we're on the second pullback, and then candle over candle. This is my entry right here. You kind of see that 122, a little slippage. I think I got in, yeah, right here. So no, it's right on 122. Gets a quick pop to 124, and then what I'm looking for in this is a rip. I don't want it to stall out 3 cents above where I just bought. You know, I want to see, boom, another rip up, because that's what this play should do. It should look like this, right? It should look more like this if it's going to work out. If it doesn't work out, it's going to look like this, right? And the L2 should go quick. It should just rip up here. It shouldn't just like climb slowly up to here. It should rip, especially since it's shown it can rip on these low float stocks. So what happened is I got in, good entry, good, I liked it, popped up, and then just kind of fizzles out. And as it fizzled out, I sold. I ended up losing 2 cents on this one, and you can see that if it doesn't do what it should do, it means it's probably going to do the opposite thing, and you kind of see that here. It just sells off. So I read it right. You can kind of see, got a little volume later on, but for the immediate part of what I was playing, I read it right, and it just didn't work out. Cut my losses, didn't do what I thought I was going to do, and move on. So here's the trade.
35 for the break over 40. I'm kind of looking for that break over high a day, the $0.5 450, thinking that if we break 450, we can get a little bit of a squeeze up towards 460, 470.
So this next play is just a simple news play. News comes out that Kroger might be interested in buying SVU. When I flip over here, you know, the stock hadn't moved much yet. I jump in, it pops up, and then the L2, the bid, just disappears, and I'm actually red on the trade. So at that point, it's not looking too good. I don't like how the L2 just reacted. So I just wait for that kind of sympathy pop, and I just sell into that. Not looking to make a profit here. I'm just trying to minimize my losses.
SVU, super value. Deal reporter says that Kroger KR may be at super value. That Sandy Victor uniform.
All right, deal reporter reporting Kroger maybe.
So my next trade is a short on Box, and this one was just a nice setup on the 1 minute that I played. It's inside of, you know, this down. This is the 5 minute chart. You're just gonna see it's just been selling off out of the open. It had a red day yesterday, just continuation from the red day yesterday. It was up on some news that an analyst gave it basically a $200 price target in 10 years. So that's why that caused this huge spike a couple days ago, and yeah, it's just been kind of, it had a red day yesterday, and I just thought continuation from yesterday would happen today, and I just needed a setup, right? I'm not just going to short it blindly. I needed a setup. So you can kind of see out of the open, it popped. It tried to break through the VWAP on this red to green move here. VWAP was rejected, came all the way back down, sold off. And now I'm just kind of waiting for a pull back, or a pull up, I should say, a relief bounce, because it's going down. So here's your relief bounce. It started to go down again, but then we had this candle right here, and this is the telltale sign that it was going to go further down. And let me explain why. So if right now the direction on this thing is down, right? The direction's down. And then we get this kind of up move right here. And if it's going to be a next move up, when it happens, this is the candle over candle right here. This needs to get moving, right? It needs to, and I should probably just do one of these just so you can see. When we go, you know, here's the pop up, pull back, candle over candle that we were talking about on those other plays. It needs to do one of these if it's reversing. The very fact that it went candle over candle right here and only went up, what is that, 3 cents, 22.16 to 22.19 with no volume, like, I mean, 20,000 shares. That just tells me that it's the move up isn't going to happen, and then the next time it goes candle under candle, it's going to sell off. So that told me right there. Let me get rid of these just so we can see again. This was my entry. So we had a relief bounce. It didn't go candle under candle here. That could have been an entry as well, but we did get a candle over candle, and it didn't go anywhere. That tells me it's ready to go down even more. And then hopefully for the break at 22, I know my mic wasn't working for the recording, but I was telling my chat room, you know, I'm going to go short here, looking for the break at 22. We got that flush. So again, because the 1 minute candle over candle didn't work here, signaling the reversal of, you know, right now the move is down. This, if it would have gone maybe over this candle here, that would have probably signaled a reversal that it wanted to go up higher. Maybe break this VWAP and, you know, get going. But the very fact that, you know, here's the pop, pullback, candle over candle, doesn't do anything, you know, that tells me it's ready to go further down. Just like on Dare, we were just talking about Dare, right? Here, that pop, pullback, candle over candle, didn't go anywhere. That means it's ready to go down. You know, so that's why on Box it worked out exactly, and even more so because the overall trend at the moment was down, right? So it tried to reverse, didn't go anywhere. That tells me that the next kind of time it goes candle under candle on the 1 minute, it's ready to go further down. I went short as soon as it looked like it was going to go candle under candle. So the candle under candle would have been 22.12. I actually got filled 22.09. So a little slippage there. It started to drop. The L2 was cooperating with me. I did get, I was green on it. One of my rules that is, if I'm green on a trade, I won't go red. So I'm watching the L2 very closely. If at all looks like there's any kind of strength on the L2, this is live. That's why it's all over the place. But if it looked like there was any, you'll see in the recording, if it looked like there was any strength on the L2, I was just going to cover break even. Means that the trade for some reason didn't work out, but it just kept cooperating. So I was willing to hold. I held, and it broke 22, flushed out, see all this volume come through, and I covered on the other side of 20. On the other side of 22, I got filled at 21.93. So right here's where I got filled. Nice win for sure. Covered up. It did, continue down a little bit lower, but my play is just to scalp the move. I'm not trying to hold and hold 10, 15, 30 minutes, whatever. I'm just playing quick wins. This is a nice, what is that? 15-cent win in about a minute and 20 seconds. So 15-cent win, 200 shares, it's $300 win. I'll take that all day long in a minute, So I'm just scalping the move. This gave me a great setup, scalped it, and find the next one.
Yeah, resetting screen share. Yep, I'm putting screen share back up. CHEK, yeah. Breaking VWAP. UAVS, decent gap and go continuation over pre-market high of 410, but not holding right now. LEDS, also decent continuation, but didn't hold very well. So I'm setting up $2,400 right now. So making back the loss from yesterday, which is good. Look for other trades if we see something that's decent.
Shares of Grubhub, Golf Romeo Uniform Bravo dropping to the low, 93.62 on some volume. Golf Romeo Uniform Bravo.
And my last trade out of the morning was LEDS again. This is just a 5-minute play. I did not like this for a big move. I was just playing this for a very quick scalp. I was trying to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cents out of it on 2,000 shares. Make $20 to $100 real quick. And the reason why I did not like this play is because, first off, the very first move on this thing popped up and then pulled all the way back. I just didn't like that. But secondly, is because the consolidation on the 5-minute was happening below the VWAP. So that just tells me that whenever we do go candle over candle on the 5-minute, that it's going to be a weak move. And that's exactly what happened. I played the entry for the 5-minute candle over candle. It did pop up 10 cents. I tried to sell for profit, and when I hit the sell button, it just filled me basically break even. So I lost commissions on this trade, and that's about it.
AMD, Alpha Michael Delta, Advanced Micro Devices shares dropping to the low 956. Well, just off the low now, seeing the July $9 puts at the bid at 61 cents in AMD, Alpha Michael Delta.
And that's how I ended the first hour of trading, up $1,347. Definitely a nice day. I've had this week, has been real rough in the markets. I think the first 2 days I've only made $300. So to have a $1,300 day today, it was definitely a nice win. I'm probably done trading. It's 12:30 right now. There's a few hours left in the market, and I'm just not interested. The market hasn't given us much, and I don't want to give anything back. So that's about it. If you're interested in my in the chat room I run, it's a free chat room. The link for that is in the description of this video. It's the Discord channel that you can see there. Just click the link, it'll take you on over. We have a bunch of experienced traders calling out what they see, a lot of new people wanting to learn how to trade, and they ask questions all the time. Feel free to come in and ask questions yourself. And yeah, it's completely free, so take advantage of it. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.